Hi everybody, how are you doing? Yeah, today what we will learn here is database connectivity in Rdbms lab. So basically what we will be doing here is we will learn what we will use here is a Visual Studio 2008 version, and along with this we'll be using a Oracle SQL Plus database to connect as a backend. And we'll be working on it. Okay, so this is actually if you see here, so what we are exactly going to achieve here is we are going to learn about the student record. Okay, so I'll just show you the output first and we will design accordingly. So the notes of which will be given to you as an attachment to this video. Okay, you can find it in the link. Yes, so this is a student record. Okay, this is what we are going to design here. So we'll be designing this and connecting with the database. Okay, so let's start. So what we will do, a very first step here is, so this is a table that we are going to create, okay, in the Oracle database. So what we'll do here is, so this is actually, if you see, create table, and Stu marks is the name of the table. So if you see here, so this is a register number which is a varchar type, and it's going to be a primary key. Then you have a name, then you have a date of birth, and these are all the various fields. Okay, so why do you give suppose average as 5,2? The reason here is, so it should be like we get the average usually in the decimal part, right? So that is the reason we give it as a like this. Okay, so now next step what we will do here is, okay, so we'll just open a database initially. Okay, so this is a SQL plus database we are opening. So I'm just putting a password and trying to open. Okay, so Scott Tiger, and I'm just entering. So I get, you can see this, I get some error. Okay, like TNS protocol adapter error. So how do we correct this kind of error? See, this kind of error happens because the reason here is the connectivity problem. Okay, so the services is not started. So what we will do here is go to the search and we will look for the services. Okay, just get into the services part here. Okay, just open the services here. Once you open the services, okay, you can see lot of services that are running. Okay, what you have to do here is search Oracle. Okay, O, just click O and you will come near the Oracle thing. So you make sure that Oracle home, this is running, and Oracle home TNS listener is also running, and third thing is Oracle service ORCL is also running. But here we can see this is not running, right? So we just have to start this service here. Okay, so let that service get started. Okay, so now what we will do here is we will just close the services here. Now we will just put a thing. Okay, amazing, right? So now we can see that this got connected. Okay, so now we are into the MySQL. So now we have to check whether already some tables are existing. So how do we check that? Is basically what we will do here is select star from tab. Okay, let's give like this. So when we give this, we can see these are all the tables which are already existing. Okay, so what we will do basically here is we are going to create a table name called Stu marks, right? So what we will do here is we will just drop the table initially, then again we'll create it from the starting. Okay, so to drop the table, so drop table, okay, drop table Stu marks. Okay, so we'll just put it. Once you do it, the table is dropped, right? So now what we will do here is we will clear the screen. Okay, so now what we will do here is we will create a fresh table here. Okay, so I'll just copy and paste this code. Okay, fine. So now if you see here, the table is created. Okay, so how do you check whether the table is created? So DESC will give you the description of the table. Okay, DESC stew mark. So when you just put it like this, right, you put enter, you can see this is a structure of the table. Okay, so this is very useful, you know, when you actually when the reason here is why it is useful is you can see the exact structure of the table. Okay, so register number is of varchar and not null, in the sense this is a primary key, so this should be a unique one always. Then you have the name, date of birth. Then this DSC is actually a subject name. Okay, data structure using C++. Then you have a DCF is another subject, then DBMS is another subject, AF is some other subject, then C lab is C++ lab, and Rdbms lab. And we after entering all the value, the total average result and class should be automatically calculated, and we have to get the result. Okay, now we will check whether the whether any data is there in the database. So how do we check that? Select star from right. When you just put it like this, now we can see this no rows selected. That means there is no data here. Okay, so now the database part is ready. Okay, so next what we will do here is, so I'll just move this database part to another screen here. Okay, so now what we will do, now what we will start doing is we will open a Visual Studio. Okay, just go to the search, and we are going to use Microsoft Visual Studio 2008 version. Okay, so we'll just double click and open this. Okay, now what we will do here is, okay, so now we have opened the Microsoft Visual Studio 2008 version, right? So now what we will do here is we will go to the file and we will go to the new, and here we will select the new project. So here what we will do here is, so you can see Windows, and we are going to do the Windows Forms application here. Okay, so what we will do here is we will just give a name for it. So any name we can give. So we'll just give it as a student record. Okay, we'll just give it as a student record, as we are going to create a student record as an example here. Okay, and just give OK here. So now if you see here, a form is generated. Okay, there is a form. Okay, blank canvas, so where we have to put the design. So the name of the form here is form 1. Okay, so it should be very clear. Form, okay, this is a form 1. So here what we have is we have a toolbox, right? So we have a toolbox. So here we can see various things here. So this is what we are going to use here for the designing purpose. Okay, so what we will do here is, I'll just make this form little bit bigger. Okay, so I'll just select it and make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, there, that's done. Okay, now we'll just go into the design and check what are all the things are there. Okay, so we can see how many so that if you see, this is actually labels. So these are all the text boxes where you enter the text. Okay, and these are all the buttons here, and this is a data grid. Okay, this is a data grid from where the value is fetched from the database and it is visible. Okay, so this is what is basically happening here. So these are all the elements we need to put it now. Okay, so now if you see here, so we can see that how many, just count it, how many this is how many text boxes are there. Okay, how many fields, right? 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, so 13 fields we need. So we need a 13 labels and a 13 text boxes. So what we will do here is we'll just go go to the labels on the toolbox. We'll just drag and drop a label here. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll just put a label on the left side. Okay, so we'll just copy. So what we do, we need a total overall of 13, right? So I'll just copying and pasting it. Okay, one next to another, 3, okay, 4, 5, right, 6, 7. Okay, so we have a 7 fields on the left side. Then next field is 8, which we'll just leave some space and put it here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, okay, so 13 fields we have. Next, what we'll do here is we need a 13 text boxes. Just search for where are the text boxes available. Yeah, here is a text box. So what I'll do here is I'll just copy this text box and put it here. Okay, what I'll do here is I'll just copy this text box and make many copies of this. 13 copies, right? I require a 13 copies here to. Let's leave some space here. Okay, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so these are 13 fields are ready. Okay, next what we require another label also, which is a heading, right? So we'll just put this label on the top. Okay, so we'll just how do we rename is we have to go and rename on the text field. Okay, so if the property is not visible, how you have to get it is just click on it and do a right click. You can see a property here, right? So this is the thing. So we'll just enter a student record. So whatever you type here, this will be visible here. Okay, so this is a student record we are going to do, right? Okay, so next thing what we are going to do is we will just put a data grid here. Okay, yeah, so no, before the data grid we need how many buttons? You just check 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we need 6 buttons. So just go to the toolbox and get the buttons here. Okay, just drag and drop the 6 buttons which you require, right? So one, just copy this button and put it here. Okay, button 2, 3, 4. Design doesn't matter. Okay, so however put it, that's fine. 5 and 6. Okay, so now what we will do here basically is we will just give rename the labels. Before this, we'll just rename the labels here. Okay, so when you just click on the label, you can see on the right hand side its property appears. Please make sure you make changes only on the text, not on the another field called name. Okay, please don't do that because this is not a dynamic text. So you just go, let it be label 1. Here in the text field you have to change. Okay, so what is the first thing here is a register number of a student, right? So register number. Then next is what is the field is you have a name. Next what you have here is date of birth, right? Okay, so what is the field that you have here is C++ using DS, right? DS. So next is what you have is a DCF, Rdbms and AFM, right? So DCF, then you have a Rdbms, then you have a AFM. Okay, this is accounting or something. Okay, financial management, some paper. Okay, next what you have is a label 8, C++ lab, Rdbms lab, right? C++, then you go with the Rdbms lab. Okay, so next is what you have is a total, average, result and class, right? So next fields are total, next you have is a average, okay, average, then you have a result, then you have a class here, right? Okay, so this is done. So next what we are doing here is, okay, so now we have to actually before this we will yeah what we will do here is we will put a data grid also, which is a, so we'll put all functional parts here. So how do you find the data grid here is just search on the toolbox. Okay, here on the left hand side on the toolbox, okay, yeah, you will have, there is something called data here. So inside it you will have a data grid view. Okay, so just what you do here is you just copy this data grid view and put it here. So that amazing, right? So we got the data grid view here. Okay, fine. So first thing what we will do here is we just on the form, right? On the form there is a place, just do some double click on that place. Okay, just do a double click on this place. So you can see the code is, some code is automatically generated, right? The public class form1 and form1.load. Okay, so let it be as it is. Next thing, you have to do some changes on the data grid also. That also we will do it immediately. So just click on the data grid. Okay, and after clicking on that you can see two things here. One is a property and another is a you have a events, right? So just go to the events here and you can see nothing is coming, right? You cannot see anything here. So what we are trying to do here is when you do a cell click on the cell, the value should be displayed in something. Okay, some event should happen. So that's not happening, right? For that what you have to do here is just go to the data grid, click on the data grid and do a double click on it. Okay, do a double click on the data grid. Once you do it, some code is automatically generated, right? Again you come back to the design part. So now on the data grid, if you check on the event, there is something on the drop down. Okay, so cell content click. So when you content a cell content click, this should happen. Okay, so this is what you select here, and also here you will select this thing here. Okay, so this is done. These two things are over. Okay, so data grid. One more thing what you have to do here is on the data grid, right? Select the data grid. So events we have done, click cell and click content cell we have done. So now click on the properties of the grid view. After going into the properties of the grid view, what you do here is you just select for a selection mode here. Okay, so where is it? So let's check where it is available. Yeah, selection mode. So here what we will do here is on the selection mode we will do a full row select. Okay, we will just on the selection mode we have to do a full row select, because a student record any record will be visible in a one full row, right? Register number, name, and all this kind of a detail. So that is the reason we do a full row select here basically. Okay, so this is done. So now this is ready. Okay, so next what we will do here is we will rename the okay, so these are all the text boxes, right? So we have to give some name for the text boxes. So here the very important thing for the text box to be given here is, please understand, so this is text box are the functional part where you enter the data and fetch the data, right? So here, so if you see, the name is text box 1, right? So here you have to, where you have to go and give the data is, don't do it in the text part. Okay, here text part, if you give, nothing will work. Okay, so here the best thing is you just have to go to the functional name of it. Okay, design. So inside the design you have a name here, right? So the name is text box 1. What we will do here is, according to the code, right, we will change the name. Okay, so if you see here, any part of the program, you can see that, so these are all the text box names that are available. So we will just quickly name the text box. The very important thing to be noted here is, see, this is RENO, right? So register number. Why here name, we can give name, right? But we are giving as a M name. The reason here is, if you give name, it might clash with some already existing data type in the Visual Basic. So that is the reason what we try to do here is we give some unique name for that. Okay, so we'll just quickly give a name for it. So RNO.text, in the sense, this is a text box basically. Okay, that is what it says. What we will do here is, so we will just go to the register numbers text box. So you have to change, where you have to change is under the design name, right? So the first field name is RNO. So there is a register number. Okay. Next, what you have is a name, right? So what is the name for M? We have it as a M name here, right? So just go there and change it as a M name. Okay. Next, what you have is a date of birth. How do you give? DOB, right? So just we'll go and here and do it as a DOB. Okay. Then click on the CPPDS. How it is there? DCPP, right? So this is actually a DCPP. So we'll just put it a DCPP. Okay. Next, what you have is a DCF, right? So name is DCF here. Okay. So we'll just rename this as a field as a DCF. Okay. So next thing what we will do here is Rdbms. So the name here is Rdbms. Okay, so next field what you have is a AFM. Here we are given the name as AFM, similar one. So just click on the AFM and just give it as a AFM. Okay. So next is C++ lab. So CP, we are given the name as CP lab. So just click on the text field and just give it as a CP lab, because in the program we are already done with this thing, or else we had to change these terminologies in the program. Okay, so next is Rdbms lab, right? So just click on this text box of 1 and Rdbms lab. Okay, fine. So next is total. So total, how they are given here is T capital and OT. Okay, so just give it similar to that. Okay, total. Then for the average also, what you have is a AVG, A capital, right? Average. Okay, then you have a result. So result is R capital here. So we'll just give it like this. Then class. Okay, so class, actually we give the name as class 1 here. No, because class is already the specified keyword in Visual Basic, so we have to give some unique name. So we will just try to give it as a class 1. That is the reason we are giving the name as a class 1 here. Okay, so class 1. Okay, so this is done. So next thing is what we have to do here is we have to rename the buttons, right? So this is button 1, button 2, and we have a buttons up to button 6. So just go to the design and check, right? So first button is add, save, update, delete, clear and exit. So these are all the things. So buttons, there are two parts here. Okay, so one is click on the button. Once you click on the button, you can see the properties of the button, right? So here to visible text, how do you change here is first we will change the visible text here, okay, of the button. Okay, so where is that visible text here is available is, if you check here on the text. Okay, so this is the place where we give it as a name. Okay, add. Okay, next button, when you click here, please make sure you are changing only on the text side. Okay, add, after add, what is there, save, update, right? Save, then click on the button 3, then change it as a update. Okay, after this on the button 4 you do it as a delete. Okay, then button 5 is clear. Then you have a button 6, you have it as a exit. Okay, yeah, very important thing to be noted here is, see, this we have changed the physical name of it, right? But again, functional name we have to change. So where do we change the functional name basically? So just click on the button, okay, so and go to the which place, the name where it is available, right? So this is the functional place where we will be writing the codes, right? So we can see still the name is button 1. So we will just change it, the button to add 1. See why I am giving this as an add 1, save 1. The reason here is, I'll tell you why. Okay, because if we give add or something, if it clashes with the keyword, our program will break. Okay, that is a reason we try to give this as a add 1, add 2, anything, or add button, anything you can give. Okay, so here save, right? Save, I'm giving the name as a save 1. Okay, name. Then on the update, I'm just giving the name here as a update 1. Okay, next for the delete also, I'm just trying to give it as a delete 1. Okay, and for clear also, I'm just giving it clear 1. Okay, this is a functional name I'm changing. And exit, for example, I'll just show you, right? For a button 6, if I give a name as a exit, exit. So when I just come here, see, this is not accepting because this name is already a predefined keyword in the Visual Basic. But that is a reason. Okay, that is a reason we are giving a name not exactly as a keyword, something like different. Okay, fine. So what we'll do here is we'll just rename as a exit 1 here, so that what it does, it accepts, right? So amazing. So this part is done. Okay, so now what we will do here is we'll save all the thing, whatever we have done till now. Now we will just start coding, do some coding part here. Okay, so what we will do here is we'll just do a double click on the form here. After we do the double click on the form, we'll see the form is loaded here. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is we'll just go into the coding part. Okay, we'll come from the we'll just go in a step-by-step way. Okay, first thing is we need to connect, we need to try to establish connection with the Oracle, right? So what we'll do here is we'll just copy this line here. Okay, import system.data.oracle client. Here we are trying to establish a connection with the Oracle client, right? So what we'll do here is on the top, okay, where it is available, you see public class form1. So on the top, this is going to be a header file. So I'm just pasting this here. After I do it, right, I can, okay, after I do it, there is something green, so which means there is an error. That means the connectivity is not able to establish here. Okay, so we'll just try to correct it. Next is this, we are just pasting, we will just take this code and put it here. Okay, so this code should come under the public class form1. Okay, so we are see connections are not getting established, so that is a problem we are exactly facing here, right? So what we will try to do here basically here is to correct this error, right? What we have to do here is just go into the projects, and here you can see add reference. Okay, just click on the add reference here. So just here, just click S, so that you just go into the system. Okay, just keep searching for Oracle client. Okay, so if you see here, yeah, amazing, right? So here you can see system.data.oracle client, right? Just click on it and just give OK. Fine. So if you give, now you see, amazing, right? The error got cleared. Okay, the error got cleared. Okay, so now next step what we have to do here is, okay, so here you can see any CPU, right? So our Oracle is basically uses X 32-bit version. So okay, so we'll come to that. We'll just come to that. Okay. So if you see here, what we are doing here is, okay, we'll just try to, okay, click on the any CPU and make it, so here it is any CPU, right? Go to the configuration manager. Okay, so for student record, what we have to do is just click here and give new. So here instead of x64 is a default one, we'll try to give a x86, which is a 32-bit version, and give OK here and just click. So now you can see x86 got selected, right? So now this program will run successfully. Okay, so here what we are trying to do here is, see, just save whatever the progress is, go to the design. So this is what the design looks like, right? So now we will just make the functionality work. Okay, so here what we are doing here is dim con as Oracle connection, in the sense for Oracle connection, dim is nothing but declaring a variable. Okay, so declaring variable con as a short form of the Oracle connection. Then dim cmd is a command. Okay, command as a Oracle, for Oracle command we are giving a short form. So ob reader is for data reading. Okay, and id. So these are all the things we are declaring here. Okay, next step is very important step here is just check how this thing public class form, and it ends with the class. So make sure on the top and below there is a class starting and a class ending. So afterwards, in between only we have to write our codes. So first what we are writing is form1.load. Okay, so here what we are trying to do here is, okay, whenever the form loads, right, connection should be established, right, and it should, and connection and Windows should, and Windows should, I'll just come to that part. We just copy this code and we just put it here. Okay, so if you see here, so whenever the form loads while running, right, Oracle connection should be established. So this is the place where you have to give your username and password correctly of the database. Okay, so my database here is ORCL, Scott, and password is Tiger. Your database might be something different, that's fine. So afterwards a display data should happen. So if you see here, we display data on the grid should happen. Okay, so this is not happening. So this is actually another function which we have to write here. Okay, so what we will do here is, so you can see here there is a display data function. So we'll just take this function and put this function next to that. Okay, so when I just put this function here, so this error got corrected, right? So this error got corrected. Okay, so now if you see here, what we are doing here to display the data, so it is this display data, what it does is this fills the data fetched from the database and fill it into what? Fill it into the data grid. So this is what it does here. This is the job of it. Okay, so this is done. So next step what we want is data grid. We are actually putting a data grid in itself. Okay, so if you see here, for the data grid also we have a code generated. So data grid, if you see what happens, cell content click, whenever the cell content getting clicked, something should happen, right? So this is what we had generated the code. Okay, so now here in the data grid we'll just put this code basically. And then there's some more code here up to end if. We'll just put the code here. and save it. So what's happening here basically is actually whenever you click on the content of the cell, rows of the rows which is on the data name, so what it has to do is first row it has to show the roll number from the text box, right? So name from the text box. So these are all the data that is that it has to show whenever, okay, on the grid view. So this is a grid view. So grid view has 12 cells, right? So this 12 values in the database should be visible. Okay, so this is what we are giving here. Okay, next what we need is a add, right? So how do we generate the add here is, what we have to do is go to the design here. Okay, so here if you see here there is an add button, right? Do a double click on the add button, so you can see a code is generated automatically. So this is the place where we have to put this code for the R. Copy and we'll just put it as a name. Okay, so here what should be focused basically here is we need the register number to be focused. So RNO. So if you see here, this is already how it is available, it is automatic. So this is a focus we are doing. We'll understand while running the program. Okay, so add is done. Then what we have to do here is save. Okay, save in the sense, so this is the place where the value is getting saved, right? So what we'll do here is we'll just go there and do a double click on the save. So save one dot click is a functional name which we gave, right? So here what we'll do here is we have a try catch block. I'll explain you what it is. So we'll just copy paste the code here just as it is. Okay, and again we missed something. Yeah, so this is what. So up to before ends up. Okay, we'll just put the code here. Okay, so now why this error is coming is it should be in a, it says that it should be in a single line. Okay, try, see, after a try if should be in the next line, that's what it says. Okay, so that is the reason we are getting this error here. Okay, we'll just correct the code basically here, then I'll tell you. It's just arranging and structuring problem here. Okay, should be on the same line it says. Okay, fine. Okay, there is a small error here, so we'll just correct this. It should be plus a single quote. Okay, so we'll just save this. Okay, so this is the error, is no errors. So what we are trying to do here is, this is actually a save. Okay, so once you click the save button, all this value whatever we are giving, right, it has to go and get saved in the database. So this is a database code here. So this is insert into StewMarks. If you see, StewMarks is actually a database name, and we are entering the values as register number, name, and all these things. From the text box, it has to go into the database. So that's what we are trying to see. So StewMarks is the database name, right? So here the values are entering. That's what we are trying to save here. Okay, so it will try to save the data. If there is an error, it will show. So once it's successfully connected, and it will update, or else it will say enter the student details or enter the register number. So this is a try catch block. Okay, it will try to do something. If there is an error, it will throw the error, whatever the error is. Okay, fine. So next, if what we have to do here is, the next button is a update, right? So we'll just go to the form one. Okay, so click on the update button and do a double click on it. So you can see update one. So for update we generated a code, right? So we'll just put the thing here. This is basically for updating. Okay. So here also the same thing. Okay, you just have to put it very carefully. Yeah, command line. Okay, this is a command. Then you have a data port. FM. Okay. So this is done. So no errors, right? This is actually ending part of it. Okay, this should be ended like that. Okay, ending is okay. So next thing is, okay, so we got everything right here. Okay, so what we are trying to do here is, see, for the update also, so it will ask you, do you want to update the record? Okay, so what we are trying to do here is set student marks. So set name of the student as whatever, if we change something, okay, name of the student or data or something. So the primary key here is, so it will set student marks, it has to set the name. Okay, where it has to set the name is where register number is equal to RNO. See, register number is actually a name. Okay, register number is actually a name in the database. Please check here, REGNO, right? So here in the database we have REGNO. And what is RNO? RNO.text is a text box name. So the register number and text box name, if it matches, you have to do all the updation work. So this is what it basically, this code says here. Okay, done. So this is completed. Next code what we have to write here is, we'll just check here, delete, right? So just do a double click on the delete quickly. Okay, and we'll just take this thing here. Okay, we'll just copy the code one by one for the delete here also. Okay. So endif is already okay, fine. So if you see here, do you want to delete the data? So how, from where do you want to delete the data? This is what it says, right? So what it says is, delete the data from where register number is equal to RNO, because register number is a primary key here. Okay, so this is what it says. So full record of the student will be deleted. Okay, so next thing is clear, right? So just go to the design here and generator, click the clear and do a double click on it. So for the clear also we'll write a code. So it clears all the text that is available. So we'll just quickly copy from this to this. Okay, we'll just paste it here. So all the text boxes will be cleared when you click the clear. Okay, next thing is here, if you see private sub Rdbms lab lost focus. So what it says basically here is, again, this, if you see here, how do you generate this? So here you can see the text boxes, right? I'm entering all the values here, right? After entering, so this is a Rdbms lab box, right? After I enter, see, you have to enter values by pressing tab. Okay, so this is one. So register number you have to put in. So after the focus comes out of the Rdbms lab, total, average, result and class, everything should be automatically generated. That's what it says, right? So what you have to do is just do a double click on this text box. Once you do it, so rdbms.text change is available, right? So what it says is when the text change is a default one. Here what we need exactly is a lost focus. Okay, so what we have to do here is, we just select on the Rdbms lab, we just select the event on the top and select search for lost focus. So here you can see there is something called lost focus. Just click it, lost focus code will be generated. So now we will delete this text change code. Okay, so now you see this code is there. So here we will what we will do is, this is a main functionality where we do the calculations. So I'll just put this thing basically here, just a minute. So up to end if, right? Okay, so we just have to arrange it. Okay, so this is the little bit of problem, we'll just arrange it, no problem. So if then here it says that it has to come in a single line, so that is a thing. Okay, so the code automatically gets arranged here. So what it does basically here is, so whenever the lost focus, see, so we'll just save it. See, we enter all the values and we enter all the marks. After entering, when we come out of the focus of a DBMS lab, total average result should be automatically calculated. So this is what we are trying to do here, right? So we'll just go to the code of this. Okay, so what it has to do here is, once it does, it has to calculate the total. So what is the total? How they calculate? Total is DCPV. So all the values we do the total. So this we get total, and average is total by 6. Okay, so 6 subjects we have, and if you see here, and what we do is, if it is greater than 40, greater than it, we pass, fail, first class, second class, third class. So this is the logic of the code we write here. Okay, so so we'll understand, just go through this and understand the logic. Okay, so this is done. So next, last thing what we have here pending is exit button, right? So what we'll do is, go to the design. You can see the exit button here, right? Just do a double click on the exit button. So here you can see the exit button. So here exit is nothing but only the end statement, that's all, right? We just type it as a end statement here and save it. Okay, fine. So now we are into the design. Okay, so now what we'll do here is, we will run the before running, we'll check the database. See, select star from student, so no data is available, right? We'll just check select star from marks. So you can see no values are there here. Okay, so what we will do here is, to run the program, right, on the top we have a start debugging, that is a run option. So just click on this, the program will start running. Okay, now we have to give the values here. So I'll enter the register number as a something like MIIT01. Okay, fine. So name is something like a Raju. Next I had to click tab here. So 9 February 98. Okay, so he's getting some marks here, so I'm just entering 89 marks, 77 mark, 90 marks, then 100 marks, 99 marks. Then last DBMS lab, let's enter some value here. After this, when I click tab here, right, here the lost focus is happening. When I click tab here, so what is the total, what is the average, pass, everything is automatically generated. Now I will click save here. Okay, when I click save here, it says updated successfully. So you can see the value is saved in the database. So we will verify on the database part also. We just go to a database, select from amazing, right? So whatever the value we have entered, everything we can see in the database. So okay, so now now we want to add a new value. Just click on the add. So whenever you click on the add, it says that it focuses on the register number. So this is what we gave in the code, right? On the add, just check here on the when you click add, click here, right? So it should focus. So where it is, so roll number, it has to focus. We changed it. So this is what we have written the code. Okay, so we'll just give it as a MIIT something like 02. Okay, so name something like Ahmed. Okay, 8 5 99. Okay, so let's give him some value like for example 78, 99. So 40. Okay, something like a 89, 45, 100. Okay, so next I'll keep the tab here. So what happens, you see, so he got the pass, he got the first class and all this thing, and so this automatically, so lost focus happens, I save the data. Okay, so this is updated successfully. So now if you see here, the record is MIT 0102 is there. So when you click here, you can see the record is available here. Okay, you can just see here, just click on MIT2, this record is available. Okay, now I want to update some value. So how do I do that is, so let's clear this thing. Text box is cleared. So now instead of register number 1, I want, see here, I want instead of Raju, I have given his name wrong. Okay, so let's change the name to Rahul. Okay, or yeah, so I just give it as a Rahul here. Okay, I just do it and click on the update here. Okay, when I click update, it's asking me, do you want to update this record? Yes, I say that yes, I want to update the record. Oh, okay, there is some error here. We'll just check what is the error. Yeah, update command, student marks. Just a minute. So what's the error is telling me? So let's try updating again. Yeah, 1 minute. Wait, command clicks 2 marks. So the name of the database is 2 marks. That is correct. Set name. So I think subject name, I have entered something wrong, I guess. Name, date of birth. I think, yeah. I given one bracket extra by mistake. I think, yeah, this is my mistake. Okay, so we'll just remove it. So we are doing some error corrections also, right? Okay, so that's we have done. So just no. Here it says some error. We'll just check. Just check with the code also, update code. Where did the bracket come in? Yeah. So actually by mistake some brackets has joined. Okay. Just try putting that code, update that code again. So from somewhere it has come. Okay, so just update again here from our update command. Okay. We'll run the code again and check the update works. Okay, so here I want to update the record call M001. So I'm just changing the Raju, his name, to something like Rahul. Okay, I just give update here. Do you want to update this record? Yes. So we can see the record has been successfully updated. So, okay, so this Rahul, okay, instead of Raju, it is updated to the Rahul. Very good, amazing, right? So this is how you do some lot of updates here. Okay, so I want to delete some data. Okay, I don't want record number 2. Just click here, delete here, click delete. The data is deleted. Clear? And then the exit. So amazing. So we got that our program to work successfully. So thank you all. If you have any doubts, you can just let me know. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you everyone.